I'm not really jealous of the situation in the present tense because she's too old for him now, I guess. Sorry.
Welcome back to more Girls Next Door, and I'm thrilled you're here today to recap Season 1, Episode 5, entitled Fight Night. I'm your host, mega fan, and Y2K survivor Megan. Come on to my house. This episode aired on August 28th, 2005. And speaking of 2005, you know what time it is. From the Y2K archives of the year 2005, I credit a fashion statement that has surprisingly come full circle. I swear, guys, after the newlyweds divorced and a celebrity feud complicated the simple life, I never thought I'd see velour activewear with Old English font across the booty burst back into style. But the iconic Juicy Couture tracksuit sets are selling out again with the revived interest around all things Y2K. It's a little embarrassing to admit, but back in the day, you could catch me in head-to-toe Juicy. However, check my tags, and Made in China revealed that I was a walking knockoff. I had a pink tracksuit with the bejeweled Juicy on the rear, and every time I stood up, I'd shed rhinestones everywhere. What a time to be in style. Since you're listening, do me a favor, like, share, and review this podcast. As long as you guys continue to help me grow the More Girls Next Door audience, I plan to continue to produce these episodes. Also, meet me in the comment section. I'll engage. Now I have one more favor to ask. Kick off your candies, hang up your trucker hat, and silence your sidekicks. Let's get into Fight Night.
Tonight is one of the most exciting nights ever. Fight Night.
Fight Night is totally fun. We have several boxing matches, which is taped live for ESPN, and it's really a big event.
Playboy's Fight Night was a live, star-studded professional boxing event attended by about 800 guests. And because this is the Playboy Mansion, they're not just throwing a watch party. They're transforming the grounds into a full outdoor arena, complete with a red carpet, reserved seating, and lighting that suggests someone at E had recently discovered the budget slider. We cut to Bridget in her bedroom, practically vibrating with excitement as she announces she's getting a puppy. A tiny black Pekingese with a dramatic underbite and a permanent snarl. Bridget shall name her Wednesday, or Winnie for short, after the Addams Family character. Because if there's one thing Bridget loves, it's committing to a theme. And although she's been lurking in earlier episodes, we're finally officially introduced to Bridget's sister Anastasia, who's staying with her for the summer. Anastasia is a sweet, shy 16-year-old who clearly worships her big sister. The two head to Atlanta to pick up the puppy. At the airport, they wait anxiously for the handler to arrive, and editors treat this moment like it's the final scene of a hostage negotiation. Another dramatic countdown. Didn't we just do this last episode?
So I was waiting at the airport, and I started to get really nervous. The puppy was an hour late coming in.
It's 10:17. She was supposed to be here at 9:40. 10:18. She's supposed to call, and she's here. 10:20. 10:22.
10:31.
Give me my dog.
Eventually, the handoff happens, and Bridget and Anastasia begin their journey home to anoint Wednesday as the newest mansion pet. During the limo ride from the airport to the mansion, Wednesday promptly pees on Anastasia's lap, an incident that earns praise from Bridget. The behind-the-scenes tea, according to later commentary, is that Bridget had been unsuccessfully trying to get the puppy to use a puppy pad in the airplane lavatory. So when the bladder finally released, Bridget was also relieved. And listen, I hate to say this because I was really falling in love with Girls Next Level, but This is the caliber of tea we're getting now. The puppy peed in the car. The breeder was late. Groundbreaking. But if you're someone who listened to Girls Next Level and found yourself wishing for deeper context dives, you're in the right place. More Girls Next Door exists to fill up your pimp cup with spicier recaps, juicier analyses, and the kind of untold scandals that actually happened behind the Playboy Mansion gates.
I'm an athlete. I love watching sports. This is like a dream come true to me, being here with the top athletes in the world.
And do you know who's coming out? Like, is there like Mark saying?
Back to the episode. At the mansion, Kendra corners Jenny from the staff, pressing her for the fight night guest list. And I'm just saying, many Girls Next Door fans have long wondered whether Kendra's interest in being athlete adjacent had less to do with collecting autographs and more to do with landing a younger specimen with an equally mature checkbook. And with that, Holly drops the final teaser. Hef's ex-girlfriend Barbie Benton will be attending fight night. Cue the tension. Barbie Benton is a former model, actress, and singer, best known for her close association with Playboy during its peak cultural years. She first rose to prominence in the late 1960s as a regular on Playboy After Dark, where she met Hugh Hefner. Benton quickly became one of Playboy's most recognizable faces, appearing on multiple magazine covers, starring in Playboy productions, and becoming Hef's longtime girlfriend throughout the early 1970s. Their relationship coincided with one of the brand's most visible and influential eras, helping shape Playboy's pop culture identity far beyond the magazine itself. And I have to say, I love the vintage footage they show from Playboy After Dark. Barbie was an absolute cutie, effortlessly charming in that very specific old Hollywood meets 1970s way. When Bridget returns home with the new puppy, Hef greets her warmly. Given that he was well known for being an animal lover and an avid supporter of rescue charities, it's no surprise he's thrilled to welcome yet another fur baby into the mansion. What is a little surprising, though, is just how much the show focuses on Bridget and her animals throughout the series. This next scene is a good example. We see Bridget carefully planning how to introduce Gizmo, her Persian cat, to her new roommate, Wednesday. There isn't much narrative payoff here beyond one clear takeaway. Bridget's pets aren't accessories, they're her children. Kendra pops in to meet Wednesday and immediately melts at the sight of the tiny fluff ball, which fits neatly in the palm of a hand. And listen, Kendra's energy could absolutely be over the top. She was loud, animated, sometimes borderline cartoonish. But when it came to celebrating someone else's good news or proudest moments, there was no better hype girl than Kendra. She showed up big for the people she cared about.
And she lived in this mansion. I think Barbie is one of the more significant people Hef has dated because he dated her for a long time, and she's probably the most famous out of Hef's girlfriends because she was on a few TV shows and she was on the cover of Playboy a lot. I'm a little nervous about Barbie coming because I want to make a good impression.
We then transition to Holly, preparing for what feels like the big girlfriend showdown. She admits she's nervous to meet Barbie and wants to make a good impression. Her outfit choice, a modest bubble skirt paired with a button-up blouse, feels intentional and thoughtful, especially considering Barbie was roughly 30 years older than Holly at the time. It's giving respect, not competition. Barbie arrives at the mansion gates and chats with the infamous giant rock before entering her old stomping grounds. And for the uninitiated, that rock wasn't just landscaping. It was a two-way intercom and a mansion fixture nearly as iconic as the Playmates at Play sign itself.
I was with Hef for about 8.5 years, and he bought the house probably about a year after I met him. It just seemed like I was going home. It feels a little awkward going there when I'm not living there.
The background music for Barbie's return starts as a suspenseful rise before flipping into a playful shoo-wop beat, and it works perfectly. While Holly emerges prim and polished, Barbie strolls in wearing capri sweatpants and carrying a tennis racket. Casual, confident, completely unbothered. Barbie clearly feels at home in the mansion, which could easily intimidate someone in Holly's position. But Holly handles it fairly well, mostly because, as she bluntly says in her confessional, Barbie is simply too old for Hef now. Is that the quiet confidence of someone who believes they've already won, or the self-awareness of someone who knows exactly where she stands? The group sits down for lunch, Hef, Barbie, Holly, Bridget, and Kendra, and Barbie begins reminiscing about her whirlwind romance with Hef in the 1970s. Holly and Bridget listen and nod politely in between bites of their salad, but the real connection and most sincere engagement comes from Kendra. And here's the thing about our Kendra. She's not weighed down by status anxiety or territorial nostalgia. She's not threatened by Hef's past lovers, which frees her up to be authentically Kendra. Does she occasionally miss the subtext? Absolutely. Does she sometimes swerve directly off the conversational highway? Without question. I mean, in the middle of Barbie's tales of jet setting through Europe and Africa, culture, history, elegance, and Kendra, fully locked in, asks her if she's ever been to the Olive Garden. But Barbie doesn't flinch. She's amused. She plays conversational tennis with Kendra, returning every slightly offbeat question with warmth and good humor, if for no other reason than kindness. There's no power struggle, no silent measuring contest, just two women meeting exactly where they are. Meanwhile, Holly and Bridget remain a little more closed off, their emotional drawbridges firmly in place. They're polite, cordial, but not exactly inviting Barbie past the gate, which naturally leaves Kendra as the unexpected liaison, the one running point on the Barbie relationship, not because she's trying to, but because she's the only one not overthinking the room.
Tonight is fight night.
We roll into the much-anticipated fight night with clips of the event in preparation, as well as the participants and guests arriving like it's the Oscars. The guest list is random in the most 2000 way possible. James Caan, Vern Troyer, Sugar Ray Leonard, Peyton Manning. While Kendra is excited about meeting legendary athletes, Holly and Bridget are most looking forward to the matching microscopic ring girl outfits they've obtained. And here again, I find an endearing Kendraism. She's too busy being unapologetically herself to micromanage her hotness. She doesn't overthink it, doesn't strategize it. She just exists, and somehow that makes it land harder. Her sex appeal feels accidental, like she tripped into it on the way to the snack table. That's not to say Holly and Bridget aren't sexy. Obviously, they are. But they clearly put more intention into it. Their confidence is more curated, more aware of the male gaze, while Kendra's appeal feels like a side effect of her chaos. You can plan sexy down to the last rhinestone, or you can just be Kendra and let the universe do the rest. At the same time, Kendra does become aware when she accidentally stumbles into something that works. Every so often, a full-blown Kendra calamity lands way better than expected. When she realizes she's said or done something genuinely cute or funny, there's this brief moment where embarrassment pivots into opportunity. And honestly, that instinct is kind of fascinating. Take an earlier scene where she's looking out the window at the fight night setup and mistakes a mannequin prop for a cute guy.
Damn, who's that guy out there?
How cute.
That's a mannequin.
It's perfect, unplanned, innocent, and genuinely funny. Everyone around her loses it, and for a split second, you catch Kendra doing the internal math. Wait a minute, did I just crush that? The laughter validates the moment, and suddenly the accident feels like a win. But here's where the magic and the lesson comes in. Kendra then tries to recreate the joke 4 or 5 times throughout the day with different people. Same setup, same punchline, same delivery, and yet the reactions are a bit flat. What worked once as a lightning in a bottle moment turns awkward, forced, and noticeably less charming each time.
Damn, who's that hot guy out there? You're the mannequin! What?
Good.
Damn, that guy's kind of
funny.
cute.
Somebody call.
Wait a minute, it's the mannequin. Damn, who's that hot guy out there? He's kind of cute. I'm like, wait a minute, it's the mannequin.
It's profound, isn't it? Kendra's appeal works best when she isn't trying at all. The second she starts producing the spontaneity, it stops being spontaneous. It's the classic reality TV paradox. The thing that makes you magnetic can't be rehearsed. Kendra's funniest moments are accidents, and the more she chases them, the faster they run away. Our characters take their front row seats at the event. Hef and Barbie resume chatting about way back when, so much so that Holly actually switches seats so the two can better communicate, which appeared a confident and genuine gesture. We see Holly, Bridget, and Kendra perform their ring girl duties, seductively circling the mat between rounds. Kendra hams it up with some twerking, of course. Barbie takes a cheap shot at Holly when she notices Holly's lower back tattoo. Barbie kinda goes off on how Hef once claimed he'd never date a girl with ink, and also how angry he got when Barbie pierced her ears. In Holly's confessional, she laughs it off and points out how times have changed. Holly ends up throwing in the towel early and leaving the event before everyone else, retreating upstairs to pout in her pajamas, possibly. At least that's my take. And if this feels familiar, it should. We've clocked this pattern before. Holly has a habit of morphing from party girl to party pooper the moment her spotlight dims even slightly. One flicker and she's out.
Some people may have thought I went upstairs early, maybe because I was jealous of Barbie being there, but that wasn't really the case. I was just a little bit cold.
In the actual Girls Next Door episode, Holly says she left early because the night air got cold. Then the DVD commentary rolls around and suddenly the story evolves. She left because she could hear Barbie making remarks about her. Interesting. Later on, Holly's personal YouTube reaction to episode 5, the reasoning shifts again. This time, she wasn't interested in mingling with the attendees. And finally, on the Girls Next Level podcast, the official explanation is that she was just cold. So let's recap the possibilities. She was tired, offended, bored, and chilly. A real 4 seasons of excuses situation. What's fascinating isn't that the story changes, it's how it changes. Each version feels tailored to the moment and the medium, like a choose-your-own-adventure book where every path still leads to the same destination, Holly exiting the party early. And that's the tell. Whatever the reason of the day, the consistent through line is discomfort once the energy or attention was no longer centered on her. At some point, it stops being about fatigue, temperature, or social disinterest and starts being about control. Leaving early becomes a quiet protest, a way to reclaim the narrative without having to say it out loud.
I think I enjoyed Fight Night more than Holly and Bridget did. I'm the jock in the group, you know? Of course I'm gonna like it more than them.
As day fades into night, the event transforms into a full-blown spectacle. club music thumping, lights flashing, fire dancers doing the absolute most. Kendra, entirely unbothered by Holly's absence, is having the time of her life, flitting from group to group like the social butterfly she was born to be. I've noticed Bridget, too, will seize an opportunity to push curfew, bend the rules, and while out just a little when the stars align. So I actually give her some credit for not exiting with or shortly after Holly. And I hate myself a little for this connection, but I can't not make it. Here we have a woman in her 30s positively tickled pink that she gets one night to stay up late and talk to boys. It's like a human golden ticket. She's suddenly handed one rare, highly supervised exception, and a girl gotta take that. Bridget does leave the party before last man standing, Kendra, but you can practically hear her inner monologue. Don't mess this up. This doesn't happen often. As we say our goodbyes to Barbie, the episode closes with commentary from the girls.
I think that whenever you're with somebody that long, you are really good friends.
I think Barbie would be welcome back. I mean, not too much. We've got to protect Holly and Heff's relationship.
I don't care about the past. In fact, I think it's kind of cool, the life Heff has lived, but Barbie was a significant girlfriend in Heff's life, but I know I'm more significant.
Bridget, firmly planted as the middle girlfriend, plays Switzerland. She's perfectly happy to welcome Barbie back to the mansion so long as it poses absolutely no threat to Holly's position. Neutral, pleasant, conflict-adverse, on brand. Holly, meanwhile, insists that Heff's past doesn't bother her because she knows she's more significant to him now than Barbie ever was. It's a confident statement, though one that feels like it's doing a little extra work convincing everyone in the room, herself included. And Kendra? Kendra remains exactly where we last saw her, barside at fight night.
Hey, we need another one of these.
As the episode fades out, she points at her glass and shouts to the bartender, "Hey, we need another one of these." No commentary, no reflection, no subtext. Just vibes, volume, and a refill. Well, what did you think of today's episode? If you have anything to add, make sure to meet me in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more recaps and reviews of The Girls Next Door. Next time, we'll get more into the mansion girlfriend divide and the shady characters that may have influenced it. You don't want to miss it. I love you guys. See you next time.
The bricks.